Hi my friends, this is May and I'm here with my inner being to talk to you and your inner being. And today I would like to share with you guys how I find my inner peace. Well, inner peace is the most important thing we should be looking after and trying to get or to protect our inner peace. But we only understand how important inner peace is after we suffer a lot. And also after we understand that inner peace is not depending on having things, or achieving goals or anything like that. And this is a place where we have to get by our own. And even though I can tell you my experience, if you are not there yet, you will say, yeah, you say that because you already have your stuff, you already manifested the life you dreamed about, and that's fine, that's totally fine. But what I want to share with you guys is just a practice that I do to recover my inner peace any time I feel like I lost it. I wish I could be 100% of the time like in bliss and inner peace all the time, but I can say that most of the time I am in inner peace, but sometimes I go out of my inner peace and I have this way of going back to my inner peace that I would like to share with you guys. Okay? So, inner peace is about you be yourself, your true self. Not being yourself as a personality, but being yourself, your true self, your higher self, or your inner being, your inner being. So, what I understood about inner peace, first of all, it came after I just manifested another dream, another big dream. I had just manifested another big dream, and I was just comparing how I felt when I was visualizing to achieve what I have just achieved. And I was like, okay, this is such a good feeling, knowing that I achieved another manifestation. However, it feels weird because when I was visualizing, it was more fun. It was more bliss. And I was happier and I was more fulfilled. And then actually here, in the manifestation, I was like, that's weird. Why is that? It was about seeing the snow. I wanted to see the snow. I was back to Brazil for 4 years and I was missing the snow a lot. And so I was, during the pandemic, we couldn't travel anywhere. And I was really missing the snow. I wanted to see the snow, to feel the cold, to see snow falling and everything. And I was visualizing that, watching videos about snow falling and everything. And every time I closed my eyes, I imagined myself in the snow, and I imagined myself in peace, just watching the snowflakes falling down, slowly falling down. And I felt so good during the visualization. And it was really fun go into my inner world and visualize that. But when I finally got the manifestation of this moment, I was in the snow was falling, everything was peaceful, everything was okay, everything in place. I was there, I was feeling the cold, and the weather was cold, and I was there. But I was like, okay, this is good. But it was more fun when that same thing happened inside me. Okay, now what? Next. And I was like, I talked to my inner being and I was like, please, my divine spark, my inner being, tell me why I'm feeling this weird. Why it was more fun for me, it was more blissful for me when I was visualizing this moment than now actually living in this moment. And my inner being told me, you know why, May? Because when you are in your inner world, in your imagination, in your consciousness, you are your true self. And what your true self wants is not stuff. Your outer self wants stuff. But your inner being, your inner self wants the feeling of it. And every time you visualized and you had the feeling, you had already what you were looking for. And another reason is because the real world is not the outer world. This is just a shadow, just a reflection of the real thing. The real thing is the inner world, is the imagination. As Nevillegoddard says, imagination is the real thing. The outer world, the whole vast world outside of you is just a shadow. That's why you felt more blissful when you were imagining than now actually in the outer world living it. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Because every time I go to my imagination, it's amazing. I really like it. It's fun. It's joyful. I'm in total bliss. I'm enlightened. It's like, it feels like I don't want to ever come back like from that inner world. I just want to stay there in my imagination. And then those two things made more sense for me. And now I understand how to return to my inner peace anytime I feel like I lost it. So when I feel stressed or worried about anything, I just sit and I look inside myself and I just study myself and ask myself, okay, why am I stressed out about? Why am I worried about? There is a desire that my outer self has. What is this desire? Because the desire comes to take our peace away. If you don't have any desire, you're okay. That's why the enlightened ones, the gurus, they say that the enlightened mind has no desires. But another way, wrong way to approach this is trying to fight against your desire. And I had this time of my life when I was fighting against my desire. I was like, I hate desire and that. I wish I didn't have those desires. And I was trying to push against my desire. And that made more trouble to me, more pain. And I was like, okay, I have a desire. What is my desire? For example, just one simple example. My toddler, he doesn't want to eat. And my mom personality starts to have a desire. I want to see my toddler eating well. And that's the desire that is taking out my peace in that moment. So I'm like, okay, my inner self wants the feeling. The feeling is the most important manifestation. Okay? And if the outer world is just a shadow and past manifestation, so this kid that doesn't want to eat is just the shadow of my true son. Let me go to my inner world and feed my true son. And I close my eyes, I go to my inner world, and I start to imagining my son eating well, and I just feed myself with the feeling of having that desire fulfilled. And I feel my inner peace coming back again. And I know that's the real world. That's why here inside me feels more strong than outside of me. It feels more real. It's more blissful than outside of me. And then I'm okay. I feel like I'm satisfied because I already fulfilled my desire. I went to my inner world, and now I'm okay. And you know what happens? The shadow, the world outside of me, starts to manifest as the world inside of me. But when I go to my inner world, I don't expect manifesting anything. I really don't worry about that, because the real world is inside of me. That's how I recover my inner peace. I notice that anytime I think that this outer world is the real world, I lose my peace. But when I understand that my inner world, my imagination, my consciousness is the real world, then is when I find my peace again. And so that's how I recover my inner peace, knowing that my consciousness, my imagination, the world inside me is the real one, and knowing that the true desire I have is not for the stuff, for anything, but the feeling of it. That's what I'm looking for. I just need to achieve the feeling. Any desire I have it because one reason. I want the feeling of it. And so, once I feed my inner self with the feeling by imagining having it, and knowing that my inner world is the real one, then peace is established inside of me. And I'm okay. And I started to see all this outer world just as a shadow, just as memory of a past, because actually it is a past. Any manifestation, anything in the form is just the past of some thoughts we had, and now is here in front of us. So if I don't like anything outside of me, that's okay. It's just the past. This is something I created with my imagination by default in the past. If I want to change it, I just change inside of me. And my true desire is always about the feeling of it. And that thought came to me when I was watching the snow falling, and I was really asking my inner being why I'm here. I dreamed so much about it, about this moment. And here, right now, I can touch the snow with my hands. I can feel the cold with my body. I can see the snow with my human eyes. And where is that blissful feeling I used to have when I was visualizing this moment? And I understood that the outer world is not as real as the inner world. And what we want is the feeling of it. If I want the feeling of prosperity, I can have it. If I want the feeling of freedom, I have inside of me. Anything, any desire I might have, I want it, just the feeling of it. And I can feed myself anytime with the feeling of any desire my outer self might have. I just feed my inner self with the feeling, and it's done. Peace is established again. Okay, that's how I find my inner peace anytime I lost my mind in the outer world because of a desire. And just let go, having to manifest anything. What you want is inner peace, and what you're looking for is the feeling of it. And you know what is more fun about it? The more you let go of the having to manifestate anything, the faster you actually manifest. Just give it a try, at least for having the peace inside of you. Okay? I hope it's helpful for you, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.